So my mom and my uncle were table tennis champions, and they had like tables in the basement in our family house. Like they had three tables, and they had like the ball machine. So my mom and my uncle were table tennis champions, and my uncle as well went to the Olympics. He was very famous in Egypt. Sharif Sekit and my mom Laila Sekit, obviously. And I remember, so my mom at the very, like at the very beginning, she wanted me to play gymnastics. She loved gymnastics. She loved watching gymnastics. And then I did do gymnastics, but after that, she wanted to introduce me to table tennis, but I didn't really like. I was okay, but I didn't feel it that much. And my dad was really pushing into squash. And then at that time, I was like, okay, let me do squash so I can spend time with my dad.
Because, I might be getting this wrong, but didn't you live in China for a bit?
Yes, I
Or
did.
table tennis?
It was huge for
So
sure.
I
They had three table tennis. They had like tables in the basement in our family house. Like they had three tables, and they had like the ball machine, and they had the Chinese coaches come coach them. And my grandpa was actually was in the Egyptian Federation of Table Tennis. Like it was huge in our house, like table tennis. Like it was a huge thing. But
so
yeah.
were you born in China or what happened?
No, I went there when I was 3 years old. So my dad was doing his PhD there, and my grandpa was the Egyptian ambassador of Egypt there during that time.
Egyptian ambassador in China?
In China, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, my mom's dad. So it worked out well that he was doing his like service or whatever during the PhD of my dad. So we all lived together there. I went when I was 3 years old. My youngest brother was born there in the last year. So I lived for from 3 to 6. So at that time I started going to school. So I went to the French school there. And then my other brother was like 6 months when we went there. So he actually learned Chinese as a first language before Arabic, actually. But he forgot everything now, and I forgot as well. But I used to speak Chinese as well, and
Growing up in China
yes,
with a family history in table tennis,
Yes.
with a mother who was a national champion,
yes, national Arab and African, yeah.
how do you not end up playing
I don't
table
know, to
tennis?
be honest. I have never seen it from this perspective. Actually, never seen it from this perspective. She made me do gymnastics when I was there. Maybe I was young, because I think you have to have a certain height to be able to reach the table. Seriously, that's a thing. So sometimes, so sometimes they put stuff so that they make you like taller.
Standing on a box.
Yeah, stand on the box or something, exactly. But I think they wanted me to start with gymnastics first. So I used to do gymnastics with all Chinese kids. So obviously they were very flexible, very good.
When does the squash only come into your life when you move back to
To
Egypt?
Egypt. So I moved back to Egypt when I was 6. I went to school, and then I did gymnastics and started swimming as well. I hated both. Sorry, mom and dad. But we have something in the Egyptian culture. You have to make the kids start with gymnastics and swimming. They call it like the foundational sport, which is true. I'm
Well,
not
I mean,
saying
your body awareness, your
exactly
strength. I mean, it makes perfect sense.
exactly. But as a sport, you don't enjoy it that much. That's what I'm saying. So I didn't see myself as being a gymnast or being a swimmer. I didn't. It was more like I have to do it. It's like going to school. It's same thing. Like I did a lot of other sports. Like I did ballet. I did handball. I loved handball.
Okay.
And then I started squash as well. Because of my dad. But I started quite late compared to other kids. I started when I was 9.
Okay.
For Egyptians,
Egypt,
yeah,
that's
and the coaches were like, and I was very small too in terms of like weight and height and everything. I was 9 years old, but they thought I was 6. So like as a 9-year-old kid, I don't look like a 9-year-old. So I was gonna be like getting chopped. Like
Yeah.
it was. So I didn't have the strength as well. Like they thought I didn't have the strength to hit the ball even, or like I would just fall. I was very like tiny, like. And yeah, I remember the coach saying like, I don't think she will get anywhere, like, because she's old, like age wise she's not young, body composition she's not great, like she's weak. But I just loved it as a sport. That was the first sport that I really liked to be there. And I remember just spending hours and hours on court, like just trying to hit the ball on the wall. And my parents, and that's, I think, from where it comes from. Like, people always talk about me soloing a lot when I was young, and I think that where it comes from, that I used to spend 3 4 hours on court, not get bored, not wanting to leave the club. So I think, yeah, I just enjoyed it. And at some point, it was either squash or handball, and I picked squash. Although I was really good in handball, like
What sort of age would you have been?
10 maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.